The 5 lines below are called the stave. The numbers on the left-hand side, 4 and 4, are called the time signature. The top number tells us how many beats are in a bar. The bottom number tells us what type of beats. Now, are you any good at fractions? Think of a pizza. Let's cut that pizza in half and then into quarters. We have 4 pieces. 1, 2, 3, and 4 quarters. Now here we have a bar. Think of the blue line as a continuous block of sound. We're going to cut that block of sound into 4 even pieces. And we have 4 of these in a bar. We call these quarter notes, and they're also known as crotchets. Think of the pizza again. 1, 2 quarters, 3 quarters, and 4 quarter pieces, making a whole one. We can count the quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 4, the first number, tells us we have 4 beats in a bar. The second number tells us what type of beats. The 4 means we have quarter notes. So we have 4 quarter notes in a bar. We can split the quarter notes in half. We call these eighth notes, and this gives us 8 blocks of sound in a bar. Eighth notes are also known as quavers. We can count the eighth notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. The plus symbol is pronounced as and. Think of the pizza again. We're going to cut it into 8 even pieces now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pieces. We use a combination of numbers and the plus symbol to give us 8 subdivisions in a bar. By using the numbers, this still gives us a reference point to the main crotchet beats in the bar, the 1, 2, 3, and 4. The and, or the plus, gives us a connection also to the crotchet beats. So 1 and, the and of the 1, 2 and, the and of the 2, etc. We can actually split the quarter notes into any number of pieces. 2, which would give us eighth notes or quavers, as they are also known. We could split the quarter notes into 3, which would give us triplets. These would be called quaver triplets. We can also split the quarter notes into groups of 4. This would give us semi-quavers or 16th notes, as there would be 16 notes in a bar. We can carry on doing this with 5s, 6s, 7s, and 8s and 9s, etc., etc. Now let's return to the first example. Because there are 4 notes in a bar, we call these quarter notes. The symbol for a quarter note or a crotchet looks like this. There are 4 crotchet symbols on the stave. 1, 2, 3, and 4. We also need a symbol that tells us not to play or rest. This is the symbol for a crotchet rest, also known as a quarter note rest. It is exactly the same length as a crotchet. Think of the blue blocks of sound above. We can change the note symbols for rest symbols to create different rhythms. Look at the 4 crotchet beats in the bar above. Now let's change some of the notes to rests. Now take a look at the music above. Can you see on beats 2 and 4 we have changed the notes to the rest symbol? Let's count out aloud and at the same time clap the rhythm above together. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Congratulations! You are now reading music. It's as simple as that. The crotchet note has an oval-shaped base with a line coming from it. I describe this as a bass and a flagpole to my younger students. The crotchet rest is a strange squiggly symbol. I describe this to my younger students as a bat flying sideways. You have to memorize these symbols. Remember when we split the quarter notes into 2? This gave us 8th notes, as there are 8 even blocks of sound in a bar. The symbol for an 8th note looks like this on the stave. Here we have 4 quaver notes on the stave. On beats 1, 2, 3, and 4. We also have another symbol. This simply means rest or don't play. It is exactly the same length as a quaver, so we call it a quaver rest. I describe this to my younger students as a witch's nose with a wart on the end. It helps to have a good imagination. So here we have quavers or 8th notes again. And we can count these with the count above. Remember, we have 8 blocks of sound. Some of these are represented by notes, and some of these are represented by rests. Let's play the music together. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Remember, a quaver has an oval shape with a base and a line coming from the top of it, a base and a flagpole. The difference between a crotchet and a quaver is a quaver or an 8th note has a line which I refer to as a flag coming from the top of it. This is the 8th note, also known as a quaver, and the symbol for a rest. You need to memorize the symbol for a quaver note and the symbol for a quaver rest. A helpful way to remember the difference between a crotchet and a quaver is, think of a mirror image. like you're looking in a pond and seeing a reflection of the symbol in the water. It looks like a Q, and you should be able to spell the word quaver. Remember, when we split the crotchet into 4, this gives us 16th notes, or semi-quavers. Here we have the crotchets again, and we are splitting each crotchet into 4. This gives us 16 notes in a bar. The count is shown above. We pronounce the E as in eel and A as in apple. If we write the rhythm on a stave, it will look like this. We link the notes in groups of 4, so we can see how they're connected to the crotchet pulse. We can also mix the semiquaver notes and the rest together to give different combinations shown below. But they still all add up to 16 semiquavers in a bar. We can carry on splitting the quarter notes into groups of 6, 7, 8, 9, etc. Think of the pizza. It's all to do with fractions. A semiquaver has an oval base with a line coming up from it. Remember, the difference between a quaver and a semiquaver is a semiquaver or 16th note has 2 lines, which are referred to as flags. The rest also has 2 lines coming off it. Remember the witch's nose? Just think of it as being 2 noses. I refer to the lines as flags because, like a flag, they can hang down the side of the flagpole if there is no wind. If the wind starts to blow, then the 2 flags may point to the west. If the wind changes direction, the 2 flags may point to the east. This is the 16th note, semiquaver and the semiquaver rest. You have to memorize these symbols. A helpful way to remember the difference between a quaver and a semiquaver is this. A quaver has 1 part to the word and 1 flag. A semiquaver has 2 parts to the word and 2 flags. We can now start to add different note values and rest together to create different rhythms. Here we have the 4 quarter note pulses. Let's split the blocks of sound into different note lengths. Remember, they are all grouped in 4s. Each block represents a crotchet beat. We can see that looking at the first beat, this is divided into 4. These are called semiquavers, and we need to count the smallest note value. Therefore, we're going to count semiquavers. Let's have a look at what the rhythm looks like on a stave. Can you see how the different note symbols represent the different blocks of sound? Let's hear how it sounds. As we did before, I'll count the semiquavers over the top and clap the rhythm to show you how it will go. 1 E and A, 2 E and A, 3 E and A, 4 E and A, 1 E and A, 2 E and A, 3 E and A, 4 E and A, 1 E and A, 2 E and A, 3 E and A, 4 E and A. Let's have another example. The smallest note grouping here is a quaver, so we need to count using the quaver count. Can you remember what the quaver count is? Look at the symbols and how they line up with the quaver count. Let's count and clap the rhythm together. I'll count the quaver count like last time and clap the rhythm so you can hear how it goes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. I hope this video has been useful for helping you develop a bit of basic knowledge in sight reading rhythm. For more adventures in rhythm, head over to the Drum Club. See the link below. Thanks.